Well, joining me live to discuss all this, I would like to welcome Matt King, the CEO of Hunger Task Force, which serves the Milwaukee community in Wisconsin. Thank you so much for taking the time. I want to ask you first about these court rulings and whether it's clear to you already how these are going to affect people in Wisconsin who have been reliant on SNAP, who are hoping that it's going to change something and mean that they're still able to get those food benefits through the weekend.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. In Wisconsin, over 700,000 people participate in the SNAP program on a monthly basis. And so at this point, with November 1st being tomorrow, benefits will be delayed. And even with the court rulings, the fact that these payments take time to process, even if the funding is restored right now, there is a delay that will occur because the payments take time to process. And so what people need to know is that the payments are delayed. They're not lost. Ultimately, when the government shutdown ends or when the funding is restored, catch-up payments will be made. And so people will receive those benefits, but at this point, it's delayed.
Does that mean your organization is expecting to have more people coming to it this weekend?
It already has. And so food assistance organizations around the country have already been strained because of people becoming aware that this is happening. And in Wisconsin, we've seen an over 30% increase just from the same time last year. And so we're compounding an already challenging situation by adding this SNAP delay and SNAP benefits delay onto it. Just in the past week in our community, we've seen more than 50% increase in visits, which isn't sustainable.
What do you say to those who say that private food banks and donations can help make up the difference where the federal government hasn't been able to pass funding to continue SNAP? Is that feasible?
We're in a position, given strong community support, to be able to handle short-term disruptions. And so if people need help, help is there. But this is not a long-term sustainable solution. And so without our most critical hunger program in SNAP, food banks and food pantries can't make up that kind of a difference.
Tell us who you see coming to these food banks, just in terms of what kinds of families, how many children. We just heard that 39% of SNAP recipients are indeed children.
Yeah, a lot of families with children, a lot of working families with children who are experiencing increases in the cost of living, whether that's the cost of food or the cost of rent. And so families making the choice to skip meals and skip food purchases so that they can keep a roof over their children's head, or parents who are making the choice to skip meals themselves so that they can feed their kids first. It's also a lot of older adults in our community who are facing choices between medication and food, and who are skipping meals so that they can get their medication. But the SNAP program is really important for helping those families just to be able to make it through the month.
I mean, those are decisions that nobody should have to make. And what you've told me about having so many more people coming to you versus this time last year must be really concerning. How are you looking at the years ahead and preparing for this kind of need?
Since the government shutdown began, we've been preparing, and so we've been making additional food purchases with support from the community, making sure that local food pantries have full shelves to be able to help anyone who needs help during this time.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today on the BBC. We very much appreciate you taking the time. That's Matt King, CEO of Hunger Task Force.
Thank you.